So, welcome everyone. Absolute pleasure to be here, and a warm welcome to what is the second annual World Workplace Wellbeing Summit. So, throughout the month of June, there's going to be a whole host of brilliant events, over 40 speakers covering a range of topics around all areas of well-being at the workplace. And this is the first. What a pleasure and an honour to be able to kick things off. And I am delighted to be joined by Danielle. Hello, Danielle.
Hi, Ryan, and hello to everyone who is joining us today. Yes, for everyone that doesn't know me, my name is Danielle Lacomba. I'm a chartered financial planner, both in the UK and a founding partner of St James's Place Middle East. So we have set up an office in Dubai, so we now offer intergenerational financial planning advice and guidance to clients globally.
So, obviously, we're really passionate about this. We've got our links to the UK, and I'm going to ask you in a moment to tell me a bit about your journey to moving to Dubai and what that involves now. But yeah, this session is all going to be about obviously financial education, financial well-being, the importance of that on a global scale. So let's just sort of get into the sort of the challenges, I suppose. You know, we're living in still very challenging times. I know it affects different people in different ways, and in different countries and different continents it's slightly different. But I'll explain a little bit about what we're seeing in the UK. But from your experience and from what you're seeing there, what are the main challenges that employees, that individuals are finding at the moment when it comes to money?
Yeah, so I think this is quite generic across the globe. I think, there are some specifics that are relatable to each different jurisdiction. But I think, financial well-being in the workplace is something that globally all companies need to really kind of, bring to the forefront of actually their strategy and their program for supporting their employees.
It's been such an eye-opener the last 2 years, I suppose, of us setting up Finwell, to see the huge range of needs. You know, you've got such a scale from the fallout of the pandemic, and now the cost of living crisis, which maybe is more prevalent in the UK than the Middle East to some extent. But you know, you've got people at one end of the scale that are massively struggling that were struggling anyway, maybe, right? And debt, and now the increase in interest rates and the cost of everything and the additional pressures that's bringing, right the way through we've seen to maybe people that earn good money and have successful careers but are still being affected by this because the lack of education still. And we'll talk about that a little bit. You know, the fact that this was needed years ago anyway. This focus on financial education and well-being was needed pre-pandemic. I think it's just accelerated because of those the times that we've had. But we don't learn the basics at school, right? We've been fortunate that we've done our qualifications and exams and had some level of knowledge and understanding. For a lot of people, you don't learn the basics at school, do you? So when the challenging times come, it can be really hard to know where to go and what to do.
I think, a lot of what I educate my clients on and the individuals that I come across are, a lot of it is the real basics, the financial education, the terminology, the understanding. A lot of it is mindset as well. And I think, emotionally, we have a lot of kind of money mindset blockers individually. And I think sometimes, we spend a lot of time focusing on our careers, on kind of, how do we give to an employer to generate an income? What we're not doing is kind of working out, actually, what does that mean for us and kind of the security around that.
I think underlying that is our relationship with money. And we're seeing almost a bigger need, an appetite for that, for people to get to grips with understanding why they make the decisions they make. And I find this stuff fascinating. I think you know this, but maybe some of the people listening might not, that we all have a relationship with money, and some are healthier than others, and that's fine. And it can change throughout life. But our relationship with money is actually ingrained in us by the age of 7. And that's not from the age of 7, that's by the age of 7. So I've got a 7-year-old son who's poorly and he's off school today. But he, you know, his relationship with money, his thoughts, his attitudes are already formed. That's just fascinating, isn't it? Tell me first of all about that, the responsibility or the opportunity. I've been on podcasts and different discussions and panels there where this has come up. And do you think that it is an employer's responsibility now? I mean, in the UK, I don't want to put you on the spot too much, but in the UK, this is still quite a new thing, right? I mean, it's not new; it's been around for donkey's years,
Yeah.
but it for a lot of employers, they don't know where to start with this, and some of the comeback that we've had is, well, is it really down to us? How think because of COVID and everything that's happened in the last few years, the boundaries have blurred a little bit, and maybe the employer's responsibility has potentially increased. But again, a lot of companies we speak to see that as an opportunity. You know, it's an opportunity maybe to do more, to get more out of your people, to make them more productive, performance levels, reducing absenteeism. With all of that in mind, yeah, how do you feel about the responsibility versus opportunity for an employer?